Hey, I'm Taylor, a business consultant and strategist, and I'm here to teach you that you can scale your business sustainably. This is Simply Business, your playbook for structure, clarity, and strategy that grows your business without costing your lifestyle. Let's get into it. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Simply Business. I am joined with the one and only Christina Pengilly, previously known, should I say, as Christina Harvey. I feel like you'll just always be Christina Harvey to me, but
I'm a bit of everything.
She's a wife.
I am a wife. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
I feel like if those first 10 seconds don't summarize what this episode is going to be like, I'm just getting awkward with my friend, guys.
We're a bit nervous in this room right now for some weird reason.
It's like, tell me why you've done so many podcasts, for the both of us, done so many, but it's like, why am I nervous to interview you?
Yeah, what should we talk about?
I know, literally. But I feel like this has been the longest time coming. I've been saying to you for at least over a year, got to get you on the podcast, but there's no pressure like a baby being due and being like, we've got to get this recorded, Christina. But thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me. I can't wait.
It's going to be such a good episode, I feel.
It can go so many ways.
Yeah. For anyone that doesn't know you, and I kind of want to dive into how we came, our friendship came about and all of the things, which will give a lot more context, but give us a little cliff notes of who is Christina.
Mm-hmm. I literally never know where to go with that question because I feel like even now I'm kind of not sure, still figuring it out. But basically, I have recently turned 30. So I'm in my fresh, new era chapter of life. I feel like I've kind of come to life in my last couple months, if you will. I'm a wife. I do a lot of different things. I feel I'm on this path of just kind of trying to figure out what life is meant to look like for me, but equally knowing that it's meant to look like a lot of different things. So I work part-time as an assistant. I do social media. I do UGC. I am obsessed with being a homemaker. And really, I just got my finger in a lot of pies, to be honest. So I don't know if that really gives the audience any kind of idea, but it's a bit chaotic in the most aligned way, I would say.
I love it. And I think as well, I know we've had this conversation, but I think in life we always just think it has to be one thing or one income stream or the one business. But I feel actually just being able to surrender to what if it looks like being able to have multiple things happening at once?
Yeah, definitely.
And it can actually be perfect. So I love that.
Yeah, definitely. I feel for myself, I have a background in psychology and I kind of always have had the same passion. So I've always been so interested in humans, why we are the way that we are, and our ability to actually just live a life that is so deeply fulfilling and aligned. And for me, that's never looked traditional. And I think in that it's been the reason why I've pursued so many different things, whether it be at once or across the years, because I've just always known that there's more and it gets to be different and it gets to look like however you want it to look like. So what I'm so passionate about has always stayed consistent, but the way in which I've actually kind of achieved that or expressed that in my life has been through so many different pathways. So yeah.
I love it.
It's a lot.
I love it. And that's where I actually want to go at the start of this is you studied psychology and I feel like you've had the very traditional kind of career path at the start and then you've actually evolved into what we'd probably consider the non-traditional career and pathway. So take me back. So straight out of high school you went and studied? Is that right?
Yeah. So straight out of high school in year 12 I was obsessed with psychology. It was the only topic and PE, but when you do sport and then you have to start learning about the body. I'm no, I just want to play sports, So I was maybe not. But psych was the only thing that I was just so encapsulated by. I was so interested in it. So I went straight to uni and I am very lucky. Both my brothers are incredible academics. Is that a word?
Yeah.
So smart. And I think I just naturally kind of followed that path, but never from a point of pressure or expectation from my family, which I feel very grateful for because I know that's not the case for many. So it was definitely a choice for me. Went straight into uni. I did 2 years and I think I took 6 months gap when I traveled and then I went back. So overall I was there for about 4 years, graduated in 2017. And it's so strange. The second I got my piece of paper, I tell this story often, but I was just well, I will never use this. I was on that stage. I had my little hat on. I'm let's go, guys. I got my paper. Anyway, not really much point for that one. And then just hung up the boots and got on with life. So I feel I did begin down that traditional path because it felt right for me. And then the second it didn't, I didn't follow it anymore. And then from then I've just kind of been figuring it out.
Yeah. Since 2017.
Yeah.
I love it. And my God. Hopefully that's the last one. Sorry, Jackson. And that's kind of like brings us to how we met in, what was that, 2021, I think, was the good old coaching industry.
What a time.
What a time. And I feel like now we both can look back and be like, what the fuck was that? And like, what were we up to? What was the industry? What in the cult has been some things we've spoken about, but it's equally served us so much in terms of like the humans that we've become, but then also the friendship that's come out of it, because we literally would not have met if it wasn't for the coaching industry. So talk me through, what was your journey into getting into the industry? Because it was kind of going on your own personal development journey, and then obviously you had the psych background.
Wow. Okay. I always need to be so mindful not to look back with the opposite of rose-colored glasses, you know, because I'm like, there is so much good that came from that season. And then equally in hindsight, you're like you said, what the fuck, right? So yeah, my own self-development journey. I remember I invested in my first mentor, India, who remained very consistent for me over the years in, I believe it was 2020, maybe 2019, like I did group programs. I was on my own self-development journey. I didn't know any kind of industry existed. I didn't know there was any coaches. I just remember finding her through Danny Kennedy's podcast, because I was heavily in like my fitness era at that time. And I was like, who is this person? She's like this like witch. She's amazing. Like she's just like, who is this? I need to know more. And started my own self-development journey. And then that was for a couple years. I was investing here and there. And then I remember it was the end of 2021. And I was on a walk and I just thought, I'm meant to do like what she's doing. Like I feel like I'm meant to kind of support people. I'm meant to help people. It was just such like a light in my life that she was genuinely at that time. And I hopped on a call with her, and before I said anything, she was like, you've kind of come to realize like this is for you too, hey. And I was just like, well, like,
okay, which?
Yeah, okay. And then I was like, yeah, I'm thinking like, you know, mid 2022 is like mid next year, June, I'll launch everything. And she was like, no, like you're going to do it like today, like you're not waiting, like you're ready. And I was fully still under the impression of I've got to go get some more qualifications, I guess. I'm going to go do this, got to do that. And she was like, no, like you have had so much lived experience. You've also got a degree, like you're good, you're ready. And so I just released like applications. At the time, I think I had maybe 5K followers. I was just like sharing random shit. I was sharing recipes. I was sharing protein balls. I was sharing all this stuff, my mindset. And I remember I put applications out, and within like 2 days, there was like 100 people on there. And I was just like, oh, what? And then
that is crazy.
It was just such a weird thing. And then my books filled up like straight away. And then I released a masterclass, still not knowing what the industry was. I was just like, okay, well, I want to talk about journaling and intentions. And I released that. I think it was like $100 or something. And in the first 2 days, it was like 150 people in. And I was just like, what is happening? Like, this is so random. Like, but like, I love it, you know?
Yeah.
So I feel like I entered it from a very genuine place, because I never knew an industry existed really. And then I was at the time doing small ambassador stuff for like Riderwear, the clothing brand, and a few other things here. So I was kind of in like my influencer era and just kind of doing it all. And then I started like realizing that there were other coaches out there, and I started following more people and consuming from more people, and then investing in more people. And then from there, it was just such a slippery slope for me, because I had such growth in my business so quickly, whether that was like a COVID factor, probably, whether it was, you know, it was like so many different things, right? But there was so much movement and success so quickly. And then it was almost like, on a subconscious level, I didn't actually believe that I was capable of doing that. So I started to look to everyone else for like the guidance or for the answer or for how I should do things. And from there, it was just like a progressive downward slope of me fully outsourcing any of my power and anything that actually felt true and genuine to me. And when I look back, I'm like, you just morphed into someone that you weren't, and you fully fell out of love with the whole purpose, like the whole reason why you loved it in the first place, because you just became someone you weren't yourself. You know, it was just like, it came into this very like, toxic, I guess, like aggressive, superior kind of energy. And it was just so normalized.
Yeah.
You know, so I feel like I came into it so like pure, and then I just got fucked by it, like truly.
And for an industry that was so like around personal development and, you know, shadow work and all of these things, it was like, the most fucked things were normalized, but then we're like, even conversations we've had around like, you know, coaching advice and guidance that we've had. And it was just this thing of like that you weren't credible unless you were investing in these big dogs of the industry, and it full became like an MLM. But then we were so gaslit in like, no, but this is what you've got to do. And like, you know, someone else would have an opinion on like the outside of like, is this normal? Like, should you be spending 30K on a mastermind? You know, and you're like, no, you just don't get it. And just all the gaslighting as well. Like we were just in a trance for like 2 years there.
Dude, it's so funny because I remember it was so real. And I actually think I think if anyone is like aligned with Netflix or something, a documentary needs to be made.
Or a current affair.
A current affair. Like something needs to, you know, and again, like we're not here to like say that anyone else is to blame for our actions. So we made decisions, right? And I'm
no
like
one had
so
a gun to our
accountable.
head.
Exactly. But I'm just like, whoa, like what in the fuck? And I remember at the start of it, and I made a reel, right? And now I look back and I'm like, holy shit. It was like, are you even in the coaching industry if people don't ask, are you a Nicole? And then I'm like, they were right. They were all right the whole time. Because you look back and you're like, okay, the only reason why I believe like there was so much money being made as well was because there was so much money being invested. And then everyone was in this like MLM scheme of like, will you pay who's paying?
Yeah.
And then again, but it's like such a disheartening thing when I know I can speak for you as well in this, where like you were so genuine and we were so genuine in genuinely wanting to help people and coach people and support people. But then that was so clouded by this really just weird thing that was going on in hindsight. And you're like, that was never the intention.
Yeah.
And I just still hope and pray so deeply that people could, I think you could sense like where the heart was for the right people. But there was just so much weird stuff going on.
Yeah, 1,000%. And like that was kind of similar in how that I fell into it, where it was like, oh, I'm doing social media freelancing. Maybe I could train people. And then same thing, because India was my first coach and was just like, no, like you're starting this like now. And I was like, no.
Yeah.
And then same thing, like applications came through and it was just like such an organic thing. But then you realize like, oh, this is a whole thing.
Yeah.
And it was like this, it was almost like a high school, but like, as an adult of like that you weren't, if you weren't in this person's mastermind or if you weren't doing this thing. I was talking to my parents about it the other day and I was just like, so sorry.
I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry to witness. I'd hate to see my archives on Instagram.
No. They're all gone. Do you know what though? Funny you say that about the friendships thing. I was thinking about that. My period before the coaching industry was like my lonely hour, if like whatever you would call it, where I had evolved past so many friendships and relationships in my life and not necessarily having the like language or understanding for that. But I was in Adelaide. I felt so disconnected from who I once was and who I'd once associated with, and was trying to like force these friendships that just never felt right. But nothing was wrong. But it was like this weird period of, I genuinely got to a point of, I just am coming to peace with the fact that I'll probably never find like my people. And that's fine. And I'm just like at peace with that. And I probably sat with that for like a year and a half, you know? And that's when the coaching industry kind of came to light for me and I found like quote unquote my people. So I feel like for so many people, there were so many more layers beneath, you know, what was presenting on the surface, where actually you found so much belonging in that. You found community, you found sisterhood. And I think that was taken advantage of as well for so many people. But like for me, like, and like for us now, thank goodness that happened, because we wouldn't have each other. But it was like, I found myself in that season and then equally lost myself, in that season.
It's so true. And that kind of brings us as well in terms of, because I know a lot of questions you get when that you put up Q&A boxes on your stories is like, how do you find friendships, especially in your mid-20s, 30s? And I feel like it is such a difficult one. And I look at like all my friends, I'm like, it was all online. Other than one friend, I'm like, it was literally from socials. And I think it's a perfect example of like, we were just in that. And I remember just messaging, I think we'd like just swiped up on a few stories. And then it was like a random day. I remember being at the gym with Riley and I was like, would you want to like go to Bondi?
Invite those random people.
Yeah. And then we just like rocked up at an Airbnb. It was my 21st
crazy
birthday.
Yeah,
and you had like 21 balloons for me. It was just like such a reflection of like, that's Tina. Like that's what you're getting coming into that friendship. Like, and then next minute, what was my like recent birthday? You just rock up, same thing at my house.
Yes,
balloons.
Balloons. Always balloons.
Literally, I love it. But I think it's a perfect example of just being able to put yourself out there and also just like, leverage the circumstances that you're in as well and like create those connections. We weren't catching up to be like, is this going to be a lifelong friend? But then next minute, I am at your wedding and like now like our partners are best friends, and it's just so cool from, just actually putting yourself out there on socials and just asking the question. And I think that goes for friendships, business connections, whatever it might be, where so many people are so scared of whether it be rejection or just like not putting themselves out there. And I think that's something you do really well, is just like, you can meet anyone and Christina's like, hey, and it's like a chat like you've known them your whole life. That's something like I admire so much about you because I'm actually so reserved and shy and I'm like, oh my God, but like you just actually put yourself out there. What do you feel like that has been, like where did that come from for you, like growing up? Because I feel like that's one thing I'm just like so proud to have you as a friend because I'm like, I can just bring you over to family and I'm like, she's just going to be so fucking polite and actually want to have a conversation with people.
Yeah.
It's such a strength of yours.
Oh, thank you. That's such a nice reflection. It's so funny because I wouldn't necessarily identify as like this overly extroverted, confident person, but I think I was just raised right, you know? Like, and I don't know where it would have come from, but I feel as though, again, I can't pinpoint it, but I've always just been raised to like be curious about other people, you know, ask questions, be polite, be grateful of the fact that someone's welcomed you into their home, understand that, you know, I can hold conversation, I can ask questions, and I probably feel awkward during it as well, but it's like too bad, too sad because, you know, a lot of people want to be spoken to and they want to be asked questions about, and I just feel like I've always just been that way. And I went to Chris Williamson the other night and he made a really good point around this where there's some people that you hang out with and, you know, say if we hung out together and like I'd left feeling like, you know, you were the most impressive person in the room and there was like so many incredible things about you based on how you spoke, right? And like that's not you, but it's just an example, which is beautiful and perfect and amazing. But then he made a really good point about the most like incredible people in the world are the ones where you leave an interaction feeling as though you are the most impressive person in the world based on the questions that they have to ask you, the curiosity that they have for you in your life and what you're up to. And I'm like, that's just such a beautiful way to put it where we don't ask enough questions, you know, and I'm even mindful of that. Like if I leave now a group and I'm like, you spoke so much, Christina, I'm like messaging, so sorry guys. If I spoke
and we're like, Christina, it's really fine.
yeah.
You still ask questions.
Yeah, you know, I'm like, you just did not shut up about yourself. So yeah, I don't know. And whether that's like also this thing of I don't really want to, I don't know, take up space, but I think I do. I don't know. I've just always been someone to ask questions and
I think the
genuinely
thing
care.
of just like asking questions is such a big piece as well for
and
people.
just being grateful, you know, if like if someone's inviting you into their home, you're spending time, you know, genuinely connecting with them.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, I feel like people can take so much from that, whether it's applying it for business, friendships, whatever it might be. Kind of circling back a little bit to the industry, like the coaching industry era, because you decided, was it early last year? Was it the start of last year? Am I making up timelines?
To wrap it up?
Yeah. Shut up shop. Because talk me through that, because I feel like as well for people that might not have context, you built it to a really successful level. Was it like 40K months-ish? Like you were turning over multi-six figures in your coaching company. And then you were like, no, like that was a phase where you're like, I've actually lost myself in this. I'm not happy. And you did the thing that I don't think many people would be willing to do because they couldn't let their ego get in the way. And it's like, well, it's success on paper and I'm good and insert all of the things. So talk me through that.
Yeah, wow. Okay, I'll try and keep it as concise as possible because there's so much.
We got time.
Okay, cool. So end of 2023, so we got married and then we just very quickly, a lot of things started happening in our life. We decided to like move here, sell our home, like all this stuff started happening. And I think that was such a big period of change for me where I was feeling really like funky in my business even toward the end of that year, 2023. But I didn't really know that was the reason why, because I had like so many different things going on. So I kind of thought, no, it's just like, that's fine. It's like everything else is like the anxiety provoking stuff. Like you're feeling a bit depressed and like actually so depressed. Like even 2022, I remember Christmas, Cruz was still doing FIFO and I was just like, Christmas Eve was like on the floor in my house, just bawling my eyes out, just being like, not really knowing why, but I was like, I've never felt so sad. Like I'm just so sad. But you know, you're doing 40K months and you got to keep showing up and you got clients and you got to do this and then sell that thing and then launch that thing. And it doesn't matter how you feel. And like, that was the whole narrative. So I did that very much for all of 2023 as well. And then it kind of came 2024 Jan. It was my birthday week and I came up to the sunny coast. I was hanging out with Riley and Shelley, still just so sad. Like, and just, they're like, you know, how are you? I'm like, good. And it's like, how are you? I'm like, oh, fuck. You know? Like one of those ones. And I remember sitting there and everyone's like kind of working on their things. I was just launching a new mastermind at that point. And we're all sitting there. I'm like we all hate this, hey, you know? Like I'm just like, how fucked is this? Like how shit? And they were like, nah, like
Don't relate.
I'm like, oh, like we don't all hate our life doing this. Like you're not like, fuck, I've got to post some stories today. Like you're not hating it, right? And they're like, no. I'm like, it doesn't cause you like surging anxiety. They're like, no. I'm like, oh, okay. I thought we all felt that way. You know? So that was kind of the first moment that I was like, I thought we all felt this way, but because I was in Adelaide, I was alone. Like every time I'd hang out with you girls in person, I'd be like, I'm back to life. It must just be my environment. Like, you know, I've got to be around people doing it. But it was just like not the case. Anyway, from that point, start of 2024, I thought, okay, I love people. I love that element of things, but everything else, no. So let's just start letting that evolve. So I was like, what do I hate doing? I hate doing informative like carousel swipe posts. So I'm going to start doing more personal brand stuff in terms of like sharing a day in the life with a lesson on it, or, you know, incorporating more content that was just more lifestyle based with the lessons and the coaching still on it, right? Anyway, so that just
God forbid you posted a story of your coffee without like an affirmation, you know?
That was the biggest thing. It was like I could not, and that kind of takes us to the end of the year, but that was just like, who are you to post something with no value? You can't, you know, that was such a thing. So that whole year it just slowly progressed. I started sharing more personal brand stuff, but still, again, nothing with no substance, no lesson, no value for someone else. And then it kind of got to, maybe like October-ish. The protein balls came back because I was like, guys, okay, shout out. I always say this to them, for anyone that doesn't know, I had a protein ball business a couple times now. They're elite. I'll make an ebook. We'll get the rest.
They're top tier.
They're so good. But it was like, okay, I hate this coaching stuff so much, but I still want to be self-employed. So let's bring the balls back. If I ever bring the balls back, everyone,
she's not
please say no. Please say do not, okay? Because it's just not the vibe. So I, still did some coaching, but I tried to stop like promoting it as such because I decided I'm not doing this anymore, but didn't announce that. Did the protein balls, that was amazing. And then it also just wasn't, because it was cost for what you were doing and what you were making. It's just like not worth it. And then I just remember being like, you need to get a job. Because there is no way that if you are dependent, like solely your income is your responsibility, you're going to keep doing this thing that you don't love anymore. And like the only way out is to source external income. And that was such a challenging time for me because I was just like, you're a loser. Like I had every story around like, oh my gosh, and you're about to turn 29 and now what? Like you're going to start again. You're going to go back and get a job. You're going to have no freedom. You're going to every single story possible. And I fought it for months, like definitely. And then I just remember one day I was at the gym and I thought, we can't do this anymore. The day before I drove past a Good Life near my house, I used to work there for like 2 months when I was like 19 or something. And I was like, you're going back to that gym right now. You're walking in. You're going to ask for a job. So I left my set. I didn't finish my session. I drove to Good Life. I walked in, asked for a job. And they were like, oh, the ad only went up like 5 minutes ago. And I was like, wow. So I didn't even know that there was a job going.
Yeah.
I just literally walked in and that was like the first sign of, I feel like you're in the right place. And that was the best decision I've ever made for myself because it relieved so much pressure and I had so many stories around it, so much ego, so much fear, everything. It was so real, you know, and like you were saying before, people don't do it because of that. I had all of that, you know, and people would think, oh, how'd you do it? You must feel differently. No, I just did it.
Yeah.
And it was the best decision I've ever made for myself. And then, naturally just progressed fully out of the coaching style content. And then 2025 just sent it with personal brand and Good Life and brings us to here.
Yeah.
So it was a very long answer, but.
No, I love it. And I even have conversations with clients as well where, you know, business is maybe having a slow season or if it's like things aren't happening and it's like because of this narrative of the coaching industry of like quote unquote going all in.
Yeah.
And that's what I was saying at the very start of the episode of like we've made it wrong to have like multiple things happening.
Fully.
But yeah, it's like, no, but I've got to go all in on my business. But I'm like, it's creating so much uncertainty. There's no like financial stability, like you feel cooked, go get the job. And it's the same for me. I'm like, I didn't like working at like, well, it was great for the time, but I was at the time my ego, I was like, oh, I'm still working at dad's office and my business this. And you go to, Good Life, people could look at you now and be like, oh, you know, she's got the success and she's got her podcast and she's got UGC happening, social, she's growing, like all of the things. Must have been easier, but it's like no one was willing to see like that season of what you had to do and like the challenges and the stories that you had as well.
It was so real.
Yeah.
So real. I remember even just putting my uniform on and just feeling so much shame. Because I was like, oh my God, you're putting a fucking uniform on? Like, and there's no shade to that. Like again, it was the best decision ever. But going from such a strange industry and then having so much freedom. But what I came to, I say this often, I had time freedom, but I didn't have freedom because I was just a prisoner to like anxiety and depression and just all of these things. Like, so I had time, but I didn't have freedom, you know? And it's like, I just like anyone that's in that position, I could not recommend more that they just go do the thing because also like that's why everything took off for me.
So sorry, but I'm going to quickly interrupt this podcast episode to quickly chat about the Business Accelerator. If you've been enjoying the podcast content or what I'm posting on social media and you want to work closely together with me and my team, the Accelerator is going to be the best space for you to do so. Think of the Accelerator like a business development hub where you have access to me and our resident consultants so you can be super supported in every area of your business, whether it be operations, client experience, finance, or marketing. We then support you with implementation, so no more courses of just the how-tos, whilst you also get that inside of the Accelerator. It's all about us actually supporting you as you implement. You get fortnightly check-ins where you submit your data around your revenue, your marketing, and how things are actually performing, so we can recommend adjustments for you on a fortnightly basis. You have access to advisory calls where you can have access to me and the other resident consultants to ask questions, get feedback, and get the support you need as you're implementing. This isn't going to be something that adds something more to your plate as a busy founder. It's going to be something that actually takes away from it so you feel supported as a founder. You can find out more about the Accelerator on our website. We'll link everything you need in the show notes, or feel free to just DM me on Instagram if you want to find out more and see if it's going to be the best space for you. Let's get back to the show.
That's the only reason, because I did that. And I remember making a decision to be like, all right, Christina, you need to stop hiding right now, because I was working in the job for like, maybe I got the job in October, I believe, and then I got like COVID, and then I went back to Adelaide, and I started in like November. So it was like a little period. But I didn't really say much about it online because I was like so ashamed of it, and I was just doing it but not really saying much, just sharing other stuff, but felt so cooked because I was like lying. Not lying, but just like I felt like I wasn't being honest. And so then I sat down in New Year, like just before New Year, and made a video for my YouTube, and I was like, I got a job. Yeah. Like I was like, it's on you to dissolve this shame, because no one else is probably thinking it. People probably are, but like you're the one really thinking and feeling it. So you've got to dissolve it. And from that point, my life like fully changed.
Yeah.
Because I'm owning it. Like it's my decision. I'm doing it for myself.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think something cool in that is like how much the personal brand has been supportive for you on either end, in the sense that even thinking to starting a business, and this is again where I think the coaching advice that we had was so fucking cooked, of just like, again, becoming a copy and paste version of whoever your coach was, and like giving value and all of these things. It's like the reason you had 100 applications when you first launched your coaching was because you'd been building a personal brand. You had 5,000 followers. You'd been giving value, sharing your lifestyle, and then you go away from that, and then that's when things, is deteriorated the right word, but like, like your happiness and all of the things, because it felt like you had to be put in this box. But then everything pops off the moment that you start being honest and start owning personal brand again, and that's where all of these opportunities come from.
1,000%.
Yeah, I would love to kind of pivot into that, because I feel like your personal brand, like that, like you said, 2025 sent it, things really grew. What do you feel like, obviously the honesty piece and really just coming home to yourself, I feel like is such a massive piece from an internal level, but what do you feel like for anyone listening that's potentially like, okay, I need to step into this for personal brand, or maybe they're wanting to start a business? I know it was a conversation I had with Soph around just building community first. What do you feel like has contributed to being able to grow a community so fast, but then also build such a solid community in like the past just over a year?
I'm going to take us back to like Jan 2025, because like that was like the pivotal year. Yeah. And I mean, the pivotal month. And this is advice that I'll give to anyone as well. I just sat down with myself and thought, okay, you're working full time somewhere else, right? You don't have time to fuck around. You don't have time to have excuses. Like if you're serious about this, like you got to have a team meeting with yourself right now and commit to it. So in that, I think the reason why the community stuff, like I'll kind of come into, but I just sat down with myself and said, any thought that you have is going on the internet. Because I spent so long, shouldn't I say this, might not say that, whatever. I think a lot of people need to hear that, of like, you need to stop overthinking things, because a thought that you have is what you think. Yeah. Like it's just, and then you go and filter it, you change it, you try and say it in a different way, and then you don't say anything because you've like got all these stories around it. So I was like, the second there's a thought, or it's like you're on a walk, you want to make a reel, you do it. Yeah. And it takes you 5 minutes and you put it up on the internet. And I had to have a period of, this is what we're committing to for the next 4 weeks. No questions asked. Yeah. And just building that kind of skin again up of like, you just say what you want to say. It's your personal brand. It's you. It's what you think. If you never give yourself a container to actually say what you think, you'll never build a community. And people just can feel a difference. I remember in that period, people were messaging me again being like, I followed you for so long. I've always loved what you do, but like there's something different again. Like I feel like you're back. Like I feel like this is Christina. And I was like, yes, like It is. Like, it is. And at this time, I still had like 5,000 followers. Like, it wasn't anything crazy, but it was like my OGs that were like, you're back. Like, you're back, girl. I'm like, you know,
the family's like, thank
God. Like, we can unmute her, you know? So like that. And then also like not playing victim to like not having time. Because like I was training, you know, working. I remember I would work most days. I'd start at 8 or 9 or 10. So it's like you could have a different kind of roster, but usually it was like the 9, sorry. So I'm like waking up, taking the dog for a walk, going to the gym, going for a walk, going to work. So you kind of like, you've got 20 minutes to make, edit and post something. And I'm like, so too fucking bad you're doing it, you know? And people are like, oh, I don't have the time. I work full time. And I could have had that belief until I worked full time. And I'm like, I have never been more consistent.
Yeah.
Because the less time you have, the less time you have to worry, to get it perfect, to X, Y, Z. So you can choose which way you go with that. You can let it be the reason why you don't, or you can have it be the reason why you do so incredibly well. And that's just what I decided. I was like, if you want this, you're doing it. So I was posting every single day and just like no attachment to it. And then I was going to work for 8 hours, 9 hours. So I wasn't on my phone. So I just wasn't like caring. And from there, the detachment created such incredible community and such incredible growth. Can I say that word? Incredible growth, because I wasn't trying to have it happen. I was just like, be so you, be so real. And then the back of that was people started to actually be interested and engaged again.
Yeah. Yeah. I see that a lot with clients because obviously, as you know, in my approach, I'm like, right, strategy and this. And of course we can have that, but I've been saying that to so many clients. I'm like, if you can't even do the imperfect things though, and you can't even just take action in the first place, we don't have any data to look at around what's working because you haven't posted anything because you've overthought one fucking Instagram reel. Like,
exactly.
That doesn't really help us. And then now we can look at your content over the past year and be like, oh, these themes work really well. And like, I know I've even said to you, I'm like, go hard with the trad wife thing. Like, give me that content. Like, but you wouldn't know unless you were just actually like experimenting and putting things out there.
Yeah, it's crazy. And it's something, I say this all the time. It's like such a stupid analogy, but I also think it's like so good because I'm like, socials, right? Like, I feel like, and business in general, whatever way that your audience can like relate to it, we see the outcome for so many people now. Like, the outcome is so accessible to all of us. You might look to yourself. You might look to Soph, like you were mentioning with her personal brand and her career. You might look to Tori or Lil, or all these things, and you see this end point, right? And you go, oh my gosh, well, I'm going to start posting for the next 6 months and I'll kind of get to that place. And then you think to anyone who's actually successful in the industry in whatever way, they've been doing that from, 10 years ago, but because they genuinely loved it. So it's like they loved posting the fitness content. They loved posting the health content. They loved sharing. They loved vlogging when they had 200 followers or 50 followers. And it was from a point of passion, which then naturally evolved because they were just being themselves, right?
Yeah.
And I always think to like any kind of career. So say if like a doctor, right? Again, doctor, content creator, very different. But I'm like, they've gone to uni for 8 years, right? They've studied for 8 years. My brother is an incredible physician. He has studied for maybe 15 years, right? On and off, to get to the point of his career that he's at. But then when it comes to the industry of like content and social media, we're like, it's going to happen in 12 months.
Yeah.
Actually, maybe it's actually probably not, and you can't look to this end goal and be like, all right, I'm going to do it for the next 6 months, 12 months, and then be like, let's go. I just really believe like if you can't say I would happily do this for 10 years for free, then don't do it.
Yeah.
Like, just actually don't do it. And that's fine, something wrong, but don't do it.
Yeah, it's so true. I feel like so many people as well, even with business, like the common thing that I hear is like, I just want to get out of my 9 to 5. And I'm like, this is not going to last then. If like you're using this as like an escape plan.
Yes, exactly.
It's like, no, like this is something that you do have to commit to. And like you said, also committing without the outcome. It's like you're not becoming a doctor because it's like, well, this is the salary I could get on and da-da-da-da. But like so many people get into socials or, starting their own business for that reason. It's like the reason that people stay for 5 years plus is because they actually doing it because they actually love what it is that they do versus what it could benefit
give them
and give them.
Yeah. And it's like you get to have that too, right?
Yeah.
But it's like if you don't have the first, like if you don't have the genuine passion, and again, you couldn't do it for 10 years. I'm not saying it's going to take you 10 years. It took me 10 years. I'm not going to say that, but it's like, then that's probably your answer, that there's just probably something else for you in that. And you got to put in the work. Like I feel like we're similar in this where, you see like Soph and Tori and like even myself now, how much work has to go into everything. They're grinding. I'm not saying it's hard. It's a very like incredible privileged opportunity, but there's so much work that goes into it, even for yourself. You're working 12-hour days, you're 32 weeks pregnant, but you're getting it done. And people just see this outcome and go, oh, but what they're posting is the beach walk and what they're posting is the cafe work stint. And it's like, yeah, but what you're not seeing is this plethora of other things that everyone has to do every day to get to where they are.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It's so true. Yeah. I feel like so many people like demonize influencers. Like, not that I feel like it's really conversations we hear around because it's just not what we consume, but I forget that so many people, I don't even think anyone listening to this would have that either, but yeah, so many people can look at influencers and be like, oh, poor you, what a hard life. And of course there's like, you know, I'm sure the handful of people that are just fucking entitled and like all of the things, but I'm like, no, it requires a lot of work. And like, you make one minor slip up with a social presence and it's like they're out for fucking blood.
Yeah, because you're not a human.
Yeah,
know, like you're not real.
Yeah,
you're like this made up. Like, it's crazy.
It's actually wild. I'd love to know, to kind of wrap it up, if there's anything that you feel like people could tangibly apply. So if they may be listening to this and they're like, no, this really feels like I'm in a good position, things are moving, I've been posting consistently. Is there any kind of like tips and things that people can apply to grow their socials? I know trial reels has been big for you and probably like even coming into like more opinionated content as well, but anything that you could kind of give the listeners of like if they are wanting to grow intentionally that they can apply.
Yep. I feel like a few things. So first, stories like all day, every day. Like especially now. No, fuck. Everything I'm saying right now, Christina, listen back and get back to it. You know, like,
I'll send you this little like clip.
Because like, have I done a trial reel in like, 4 months now? Anyway, so, okay, yeah, stories, like your life depends on it, okay? And build a presence around your stories where people remember you for a certain thing. So I'm coming back Jan 2025. I'm like, let's bring her back. I was like every single morning in the exact same spot in my kitchen making my pre-workout. It was same edit, same vibe.
So true.
You're right. It's like you remember that because it's like, yeah, cool, that's your vibe, that's what she's up to. So there was an element of consistency that I was building in that, but then like anything that you can share, you're posting, right? No days where there's no stories up. Truly, let's hustle with that. Secondly, something I would recommend is coming into finding like at least 4 styles of content that you can post 4 days a week consistently that is equally consistent in like what you're doing. So for example, maybe once a week you're doing a morning in your life every Monday. And then on a Wednesday, you're doing a carousel of all the food that you ate that week. And then on Thursday, you're doing, this is all like what I did, a friendship related piece, because that's like a big pillar of my brand as well. And then Fridays, you're doing a weekly dump. So it's like having actual strategy in place for what you're posting every single week minimum. And then knowing that on the other days, you're still posting something, but that's your more like creative flow state vibe. That worked so incredibly well for me. And it's kind of something that I realized I did in hindsight.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, what I did was I just figured out what I love to create and what I could be consistent with. I did that every single week, rinse and repeat every single week. And then the other days I still posted every single day, but it was just what I kind of felt like in the moment. I remember I went for a walk with a friend who's quite big online and she said to me, you've just got to like lock in till you get to 10K. And then from there you can kind of post a bit more of like whatever you want, but like actually let yourself niche down and just be consistent and have a platform that people know what to expect from you. So in that season of my life, if every other day I was posting something different, people don't really know what to stay for. Or if one thing popped off that I've never posted another piece of content around, like why would they then come to my page and stay?
Yeah.
So it was like that. And then from there, I also just started pumping trial reels. And yeah, I reckon last year, like it grew from 6K to 27K or something last year. And I'm like, probably like 15 of that was trials, like honestly. So yeah, trials as well. I'd say.
Yeah.
And like every day. Okay. I'm not
Every day.
I don't want to be that person. It's like, you got to post every day. You've got to post every day.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like you have multiple times a day.
Yeah.
I posted every single day, not one day missed for at least like 4 months.
And I think as well for people, like this is that personal brand piece, tying it into business as well. I was auditing a fitness coach's Instagram account yesterday. I'm like, I'm coming onto your account and all I see is fitness coach. All I see is like, I'm going to help you with your accountability and this, that, and the other. And I'm like, but what's the reason when someone lands on your account that they want to follow in the first place? Like before they even consider buying or purchasing anything from you. So I know something that we've even spoken about because I'm like, give me like now your protein ball recipes. Like now you're not going to ever be balling again.
Yeah.
Give me the recipe.
Yes.
Or like even a huge piece to your brand is like the, wife content. I was going to be like full like trad wife, but I feel like, why does trad wife sound bad? Even though it's not. Like,
people
it's
are
just traditional.
with that,
But like the wifey content, like, meal prep that you're making. And I'm like, no, give me the recipes like for meal prep and things like that. But it's like without you posting that content first and having a brand around that and me following for that, I'm not going to then purchase and buy. So I think, for people to even look at, like you were saying, almost how those like umbrellas to their brand and what can fit under it and making it unique to you. So I even think with you, when I see, health related content, or if you're posting your recipes, it's not just like a, what I ate this week, but it is probably something around your hormones or for endo or if you're in a deficit, like whatever it might be. So getting specific, like you were saying, especially if you're not at that 10K mark, and girl, same.
No, but you're like killing it right now. Like,
well,
I feel like
I also think too, like actually getting specific and like,
Yeah.
again, coming into personal brand more than anything outside of just the service that I'm selling and just giving value in the business space. I'm like talking about motherhood. I'm talking about the renos and like friendships and things like that. That's actually what is growing the brand.
And then if they're like, this girl's fucking elite and she's got an elite service, so I'm going to buy it.
And it's been cool to see the correlation for sales as well and inquiries, because I'm like, I've like sold the least I ever have in my 4 years of my business, and I'm booked out.
Yeah. It's like there's something in that.
Yeah.
And to side note too, like sending love when I say this, but you've got to just fucking get good at your content. It's like create good content as well. I'm not saying from the start, even if I look back to last year, I'm like, bless you, like you were trying hard, but it was pretty average. And then it gets better and better and better because you find your editing style too. And I think that people stay around for that. And I've even had so many messages around like, I just love like when your videos come up, I know that they're your videos and it's from like the vibe of the music that I would pick. And I think too, like think about an umbrella for your brand and like what fits beneath that. So for me, it's like, I want to be like, yes, a big sister, but also the wife, and also like this energy where you come, like you're like, I'm your mum, like there's like, let me give you a hug, like
mama teen.
Yeah, like let me take care of you vibe. And so I'm like, okay, what music reflects that? Like I'm not coming on there with the thotty carousel dump songs, it's like, but then you go to some girls and they're like, everything's like that thought music. You're like, let's go, because that's your brand. Right? Like for me, it's more like Clean Bandit. Like, I'm like all these, like you probably don't know who that is.
You're like super young.
But like really like upbeat, and then like my editing reflects that. So it's like I edit to the music and I know what works well in terms of like my first clip is always, the camera's always moving, like having time to experiment to then figure out like what's your editing style, and then you don't even have to think about it. You'll just naturally create in that way. Like even when your day in the lives come up, I know they're yours. So I'm like, yeah, like that's a Tay energy.
Yeah.
It's like, why do I know that? Just because you've been priming me for that over years without realizing it.
Yeah. I feel like my content style is very simple. Like someone was even looking at because we're talking about like aesthetics and things like that, and even just my house. And I was like, I'm so neutral and beige. And she's like, but that's you though. Like you're minimalist and you're simple. And I'm like, true. Yeah. And then I can look at some people, I'm like, you have bright oranges and colors, and it's like so cool. And I think a lot of people could listen to this and be like, okay, well, I've got to map out like what songs do I use and what this, but it's like just actually have a period of fucking taking messy action. Like that was like a year of you sending it, and it's like you'd probably have at least 400 pieces of content from that year banked for data, and then you're like, oh, I've gotten better at this skill set, where again everyone tries to get it perfect from the start. I'm like, why aren't I getting paid? Why aren't I getting brand collabs? Because you've been doing it for 8 weeks.
No, exactly. And even to that, you'd know me, I'm not a like intentionally strategic person, but I feel like in hindsight I'm like, oh, that was very strategic. Yeah. But it's like, I'm not someone that's coming on here to say like dissimilar to you. Like I feel like you are so much more structured with things, and that's why people come to you for that. And I'm like, yes, there's structure in what I'm saying, but like the number one thing is you're having the time of your life. So it's like, I'm not saying then go and freak out and write down this whole plan of what you're posting every single week, but it's like more so just have it in your mind. Okay, have I done a weekly dump this week? No, it's getting done. Have I done my recipes this week? No, let's put that up. Let's find a song. Does that feel like me? No. Does that one? Yep. Like just make it easy, but just kind of have an idea of what you're doing. Yeah. That's the difference.
Yeah. And I think such a big takeaway from this as well is that I see a lot with clients or people inquiring, it's like one piece of content feels like the weight of like a 20-kilo dumbbell, in the sense of like, if we're going to compare it, and it's like for you, it's like, it's not even any kind of weight. And I think like, I'm just trying to like visually communicate it in the sense that, so many people, I'm like, why are you spending so much time on one fucking piece of content? Why are you like letting this weigh so heavily in like your day? It's time blocked for an hour and a half in your calendar. Like if content, like one reel is taking you that long, you're not going to be able to grow. You're not going to be able to grow on socials.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to grow in your business. And not from the sense of, I also know some people, I'm even thinking like Beck Stewart, I remember, and she was like, no, my edits, because hers are like,
Yeah, she's like cinematic.
insane edits. She's like, no, some will take me 3 hours.
Yeah.
But it's like, if you're at the start, like just get content out because like it's not taking you an hour and a half because you're actually doing this highly insane edit. It's because you're fucking around.
No, it's that. It's like you've got to just go give yourself 20 minutes a day.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even kidding. I'm like, get in there, get one clip, put one little caption on the screen, post it, get on with your day. Because the thing is, the less time you take, the more you realize it's not that deep.
Yeah.
The more you do it.
Yeah.
Because if you've got this energy of every time you're creating, you're like, I'm suffocating. Like, this is so hard. Like, I'm so stressed. Good luck posting 7 days a week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whereas if you create this association with it where it's like, it's the easiest part of your day, you're on the treadmill, you had a thought, up it goes, you put your phone away, get on with work.
Yeah.
How easy is that? And then the more you do it, the more you grow. So it's like, we just got to care less.
I genuinely think that's why trials.
Oh my
pop off
gosh.
as well.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, even like
fuck.
all of my, I'm like, why have you just completely outdone any of my other content that I have worked hard on?
Harder. Oh yeah. I spent so long editing like a brand reel for this morning. I'm pretty sure it's plummeting, you know? And I'm like, oh shit.
But it's like the trial of like a 7-second clip with like a little spicy caption on the screen. You're like, huh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool, it's on 500k views. Like,
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. You're
Brought in
spending
2,000
all day
followers.
filming a day in the life, and you're like, that took like 8 hours of filming and hour of editing. It's got like 500 views. I'm like, oh, okay.
And I think for people to just hear that, I'm like, that's a part of the fucking game.
Oh my
you know
God,
what I mean? Like
yeah.
people that have like a career in it, it's a part of it. Like stop making one video flopping so fucking deep. It's just like actually just allowing it to be a bit fun in that sense.
No, my content flops all the time. Do you know what I mean? But it's like, because there's enough of it there that the next one doesn't.
Yeah.
So you're like, cool, whatever.
And it pushes it up.
Yeah, it's like, let's go back to that one, you know?
Yeah.
Something else is I will never share the day that I post it either on my stories. So I feel like that's another thing random, but people will say like, get it straight on your stories to then bump engagement. But I actually have found if I let it go a day or two, you post it back up, it picks up again. And like, I'll get an extra like 5-10K from a story, even though my story views aren't high.
Yeah.
So it's like, even just playing around with little things like that as well can just, it's like tiny tweaks, but they can work.
I remember speaking to Soph, and this was ages ago, but it was, she'd like post like a selfie wearing an outfit or something, and then she's like, yeah, and then I'll wait until someone says, where's that shirt from? And then post a link and it's the added. And I'm like, you cheeky bugger.
And I bought it. Yep.
Literally. And I paid. But it's like, if it was an ad right away with a link, maybe not. So I think as well, it's that thing of just playing on what works for your audience, because Christina's audience is very different to mine, very different to Tori's. So it's about actually finding what works and just like being able to get a bit curious and kind of gamifying it a bit.
And like genuinely wanting to chat with people.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I think that's huge for people.
Can't be, because, and I always come up against this where I'm like, I feel so gross when my Instagram feels like it's too much about me, you know? And of course, like that's what it is. It is. But it's like, if I'm not chatting with people, if I'm not responding to people, if I feel like things are very selfish and it's more like, here's what I got up to today and there's no value in that, I'm like, ew, like I hate this because this is for community.
Yeah.
And so it's like, you have to, I'm sorry, if you can't take 5 minutes to respond to your comments, that's your problem.
Yeah.
If you can't take 5 minutes to get back to your DMs, and I'm not saying life doesn't get busy. Sometimes it's like a week from like, holy shit, I'm so sorry. I just wanted to get here like and have time to chat properly. But it's like, I'm always circling back.
Yeah.
So it's like, even that, it's not about you and what you can get. It's about you creating a presence that make people feel a part of something.
Yeah. And I feel like it ties into the question I asked you around like you being someone that's just curious and asks questions, right? Like it translates into socials. But I was saying that to someone the other day and she's like, my engagement's shit. I'm like, when was the last time that you actually just engaged with strangers online? Never. Like that'll do it. Where I always see like on my real page and it's like Christina's commented and it's like Slay Queen, I love this. And it's like, engage with people if you want that back. Like that's actually how you build community. And I think it's like if you were to be like, oh, well, why isn't that girl coming up and saying hi to me in public, right? It's like, well, have you opened up opportunity for a conversation? But the same thing applies online.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like, I feel like it all comes back to if you're genuine about it, you can't you can't fake that.
Yeah.
And then you can't also not be that way. So it's like if you just are who you are and you genuinely care, it comes back to what we were saying about like genuinely enjoying and caring about what you do. This isn't strategy, it's just who you are. So you're naturally going to comment. You're naturally going to reply. You're naturally going to ask a question. You're naturally going to actually respond to someone in a way that is creating conversation with them in the DMs, not just like, thanks, queen, you know, because it's like, I know that you just did that because it was like quickly you're on a treadmill trying to get your responses out, you know?
Yeah.
So people just feel that.
Yeah, it's so true.
Yeah.
And I love as well with this, like it's all really simple things everyone can apply from this episode.
Yeah.
And like, it's actually not the world, like rocket science.
No, and please, like that's the biggest limitation we all put on ourselves. Like, it's got to be harder because it's not working. It's like, no, you just did it for 2 days.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and it's like it's not harder. So stop looking for the answer because we've just told you all the answers.
Yeah,
You've actually got them.
Yeah, I love.
Do you want the answer? Post every day for the next 12 months and come talk to me. I say that too. Like,
and cut.
yeah, and that's it. Like if I ever now and then do like calls and stuff for socials, I'm like, I say this with so much love. You don't get to ask this question again until you've posted every single day for 12 months, and then if it's still not working, we can chat.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And we'll leave the episode there, folks.
See you later.
And that's us done. That's all we needed, which is just like a 10-second episode.
Yeah, legit the last 10.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for jumping on to chat about how that you've gotten here. And I think, yeah, it's cool for people to hear like the behind the scenes and if people are in the coaching industry as well. And maybe I feel like it is still pretty unspoken. Like I feel like it's a thing in the industry as well of like, oh, did you experience it? Like I know when like clients will somewhat ask me and I'm like, oh yeah, like got a cease and desist.
I know. Yeah, we spoke about that ever. We spoke about that.
No, I don't think so. I think I spoke about it in one episode maybe.
Classic.
But it's like, yeah, like if you've been feeling like that, just like no.
It's you're not alone.
You're not alone.
No.
And just permission to like pivot and evolve and grow your personal brand.
Yeah.
No matter what that you are doing.
Whatever it is, I don't give a shit. Like, what do you love to do? I know we've got to wrap up, but like people message me saying like, you know, how do I make it not boring? I'm like, no. It's you posting what you actually do every day.
Yeah.
Because if you're trying to make it something, you're never going to be able to sustain it. Yeah. So it's like, what are you actually doing? Is it the most boring shit? Are you gardening? What are you doing? Post that. Like, I don't care about it being fabricated and perfect and amazing. It's like, what is real? And then that's going to be why it's so easy and light for you to continue because it's just who you are.
Yeah.
So I think that's the biggest thing. And like, I've had so many people message me being like, oh my gosh, like, thank you so much for sharing like about going back and getting a job and doing this because it's made me go and do these things. And I think that as well, if you're in this season, like be so proud of that because like I wasn't. And now in hindsight, I'm like, oh fuck, I'm so proud that I did that because it gives other people that permission slip. So like see it as such a powerful thing if you're trying really hard and you're starting new, you've got a new account, you've quit the business, you've got the job, like see that as like, fuck yeah, like I'm actually elite. Yeah. Because this is so courageous and that's what like people need.
Yeah. No, I love that so much. And especially the thing of like the like quote unquote boring as well. Like I am so sat with Smiley Citrus at the moment.
Let's go.
And just like it's like
it's
doing
so
a budget.
It's
like
so
and it's
boring.
arguably like on paper boring, but I am sat
eating it up.
And I'm like doing my budget, watching her budget. I'm like, yeah, there's so many things. It's like you can't post that. Money's taboo. You're gardening, like whatever the fuck it might be. It's like, no, post it. Like there is an audience for it because we love seeing the things that we feel like we should be able to see because we're nosy creatures.
What about the girl on TikTok? I don't know her name, but her whole, I don't think she's ever shown her face. It's just her deep cleaning.
Oh.
I'm like, I'm here for days.
Of course you are.
Yeah, you know? I'm like, oh my God. And it's just like the ASMR of her scrubbing stuff and like getting mold off shit. And I'm like, oh, I'm sad.
Yeah.
And she's cleaning a toilet. Do you know what I mean? Like, so you can post your walk.
Yeah, 1,000%. I love it. Well, where can everyone find you? Because you've got your podcast now as well.
Yes, I do. Talk therapy.
Need more yapping.
Yes. Every Wednesday, there's episodes weekly on a Wednesday. Spotify, Apple Podcast, YouTube. I have YouTube as well. Christina.Pengilly is my YouTube, weekly YouTube. So not this week though, because I'm feeling a bit burnt out. And then just Instagram, Christina Pengilly. And I'm just floating around everywhere.
We'll link everything in the show notes, regardless, because I'd be like, well, fuck, where am I going? But thank you so much for taking the time to come onto the podcast and sharing some wisdom with everyone. It's been the best yap.
Thank you for having me. I love to hang out.
We'll have to do another soon. If you have any specific questions or anything, feel free to flick it through because we might have to do a part 2 once his baby's here.
I'd love it. Let's bring him in. I nearly said his name.
I feel like there's that as well. I'm like, no one knows. I go to say it and I'm like, oh, Taylor, can't share his name yet.
So soon though. So soon.
I don't. Well, I will see you in the next episode and enjoy the rest of your day whenever you're listening to this.
Love you. Bye.
Bye. And that's another episode of Simply Business. I would love for you to rate this podcast, comment below. If you have any feedback, DM me on Instagram, and even better, share it with your friends, family, or share on Instagram. See you in the next episode.